Today we're going to take a little bit of a break from the Norway trial because we have a new governing body update video and it gave me a bit of a giggle. Let's do this. Hello and welcome back to the JW Thoughts channel. My name is Wally and today we have to look at a governing body update video from David Splain. Quickly before we get into it, don't forget to drop a like on the video. It helps it get out to more people on YouTube, helps the cause, and subscribe to the channel if you want further content like this. With all that being said, let's get into it.
On January 1st, the Patterson Visitor Center officially opened for tours. Construction began in early 2021. And was completed in September 2023. What will you experience when you come for a visit?
These nuts. Got him!
Let's take a look.
The Patterson Visitor Center features 3 museums and a coin display.
Well, it would appear that the beard policy change is being very well received because we got a frame one jump scare here because the first person they show, a Bethelite with a beard. This is the first time in the broadcast unless it's a fake beard, so kind of a historic occasion for Watchtower in my personal opinion.
The first exhibit you'll notice is entitled Defending and Legally Establishing the Good News. It presents the powerful experiences of men, women, and even school children who held to their Bible-based beliefs despite legal opposition. This exhibit shows how Jehovah's organization supported them through difficult tests. A biblical coin gallery presents a unique display of original coins that were in circulation in the 1st century, along with their scriptural context and significance. Another exhibit, entitled All Your Sons Will Be Taught by Jehovah, features some of the training programs and schools that have been used by Jehovah's modern-day organization to equip us as ministers and teachers. We trust it will motivate you to see additional ways that you can take advantage of the education Jehovah provides.
I really like how confident the governing body is in making this display, and the very first thing that people will be welcome to is how they've won legal battles. Bit of a awkward situation when they're in a really big losing streak at the moment, it would seem. So curious to see if they keep this display up for a long time or they just say, well, in the past we won our legal battles, but I guess Jesus abandoned us and now we're just catching L's left and right.
Our feature museum is a 1st century Bible village. The local villagers are very welcoming and will be eager to show you how they live and work together as a community. You'll see firsthand what life was like when Jesus walked the earth.
Another one.
You'll walk through agricultural areas, a marketplace, residences, a synagogue, and even by the seashore. No doubt, these new museums will enhance your appreciation for the Bible and for what Jehovah is accomplishing through his organization today. We welcome all who are able to come and see the new Patterson Visitor Center.
I don't know you anymore. You're going down a path I can't follow.
Okay, Wally has come up with one of his wackadoo hypotheses. Make fun of me in the comments for being a crazy person, that's fine. But when they were going through this, it seemed like everyone was taking like pictures and selfies. So is the whole concept, the whole idea behind making this a way to get ordinary Jehovah's Witnesses to come visit because they see other people posting about it on social media? Is this sort of like a social media strategy to make it seem like Jehovah's Witnesses are fun and cool and you should come and visit Bethel? And also there's donation boxes while you're here because obviously this costs a lot of money. it would be a way to target the more wealthy Jehovah's Witnesses, the ones that can actually afford to take their entire family, because it's a very expensive trip to New York and go and hang out and do this thing at Bethel. And they see other people posting about on social media, fear of missing out. They also want to go. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting a little conspiratorial, but I just don't know why in this video, this promotional video about the education center museum thing, why they're showing so many people with taking selfies. It seemed a little odd to me. I think that it seems like there's intention behind that, but I don't know. I could be just completely yammering on about absolutely nothing. But insert the scene from Padme in Star Wars Episode 3. You're breaking my heart. You're going down a path I cannot follow, because some Jehovah's Witnesses are going to see this and be like, oh, wow, look, Bethelites, they're wearing beards. Other people are going to be going frame by frame like, oh, I can't believe it. There's brothers wearing beards at Bethel now. It's all over. When you knew it was sort of bound to happen. So I'm wondering how polarizing this whole beard situation is going to be. But hey, I'm here for it, and it gives me a bit of a laugh.
Now, let's talk about the recent adjustments to the way we report our ministry and how these affect our personal goals. At the recent annual meeting, we learned that as of last November, we'd no longer be submitting a detailed field service report. That was a big change, wasn't it?
Change? Yeah, big change.
I think they're trying to do this as a way of not highlighting or drawing attention to the far bigger change that they had made before. Oh man, this is a massive change. Don't get me wrong, this is a pretty big change, but I'm starting to think that all of these other changes might have been a way of distracting Jehovah's Witnesses from one of the biggest changes that they've made, and that has to do with you no longer have to be a Jehovah's Witness, and you can do a last-second conversion. Maybe they don't want people really focusing on that too much, so let's talk about the time changes, and let's show people with beards. It's sort of a Roman Empire tactic. It's the bread and circus act.
On Saturday morning, we may spend a couple of hours preaching from door to door. Then we go grocery shopping. Are we off the clock, so to speak, because we're no longer in the formal preaching work? We don't look at it that way. When we're at the grocery store, we're still on the lookout for people we can share the good news with. We may be able to talk to someone standing next to us in a long checkout line, or perhaps with the clerk who processes our order. We can keep it simple. After exchanging a few friendly words, we might pull out a contact card and simply say, "This is a website I think you'd enjoy. It has interesting articles in more than 1,000 languages." Or, after a few appropriate comments, you might offer a tract. If time permits and the person is receptive, we can say more. The same principle can apply when we're waiting at a doctor's office, an airport, shopping, or on public transportation.
So you're in line at the grocery store, just trying to get some milk and eggs and cereal for the kids, and someone walks up to you and says this:
Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us. Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive or evacuate is to leave with us.
Hey, you could leave him with a track. Ooh, you could, like, it's so awkward. And having been a Jehovah's Witness for so long and having done this myself, I imagine the people that I tried approaching in public casually and naturally, I just look like a total freak. Oh, but I'm glad that they're getting on board with this method, because no cults throughout history have ever really focused on on a public casual setting. Oh, hey, here's a little pamphlet. You should check this out. No one has ever thought to do that before.
Another area where diligence is needed involves following up on interest. A person doing cart work has a conversation with an interested person who requests a visit. That person lives in your territory, and you agree to make the call. Saturday morning, you knock on the door, and what happens? You know the answer. The person isn't at home. Are we going to throw up our hands and say, well, I tried? Not at all. That person showed interest, and we're going to keep calling back at different times until we contact him.
As a little PSA to anyone out there that might just be kind or friendly to someone standing by one of these Jehovah's Witness carts, they're going to keep coming back again and again. Don't give them your address. Just give them a fake address. Just, I live at 6969 420 Avenue, and just call it good, because they will keep doing it. And, oh, God, this is so embarrassing, because it reminds me of when I used to do these things, and I would keep a log. This is so creepy. It might even be illegal. I don't know. I would keep a log of when I knocked on someone's door, if they showed just any amount of interest or something, and we're probably just being friendly. And I would call at different times. I would go multiple times a day, sometimes 3 times in the exact same day. I'll go in the morning, I'll go in the afternoon, and they were home. They just thought they were being stalked by some weird crazy person in a cult, which is exactly what was happening.
Although we no longer fill out a detailed field service report, we can still set personal goals for ourselves. Let's hear how some of our brothers and sisters feel about the recent adjustments and what they're doing to expand their share.
Thanks to these adjustments, I can now enjoy my ministry and making disciples even more. And honestly, I love it.
I feel like the new adjustment to reporting hours has really helped me, because I'm not so worried about starting my time and ending my time. I feel like I'm in the ministry all the time.
Well, the first thing is I've completely changed my schedule, so I'm going out when people are out there.
Previously in the ministry, I expected people to listen to me, but now I want to listen to them.
It doesn't matter how many publications I leave with people. Now I see the importance of taking every opportunity to talk to people with the goal of making disciples.
Do you ever have one of those moments where you feel like you're crazy? You feel like maybe you're dumb or you're just missing something? This is one of those moments for me, because I cannot, for the life of me, as I've been sitting here scratching my head and scratching my nuts and trying to figure out how this would improve how much joy you feel in the ministry. I just can't get my head around it. So you're going out in service for 12 hours a month, and then they say, okay, you don't have to report that time. And now you're like, okay, now that I'm not reporting that time, I have so much more joy. Is it because you're going less and you're like, woohoo, yeah, doing a cool dance? And because you get to sleep in on Saturdays now? Because, oh, wow, I'm getting so much more joy out of my ministry because I'm doing it less. But they're suggesting that they're able to do more in the ministry. So because you're not counting time, okay, did your circumstances change? Did you get a different job? Did you start working part-time? How are you able to go in the ministry more now because of this change? This change means absolutely nothing if you are a full-on believing Jehovah's Witness. You'll probably just keep doing the exact same thing. So the only conclusion I can come to is I felt pressure to do more because I had to report all of my hours. And now that I don't have to report it, I don't feel that pressure, so I'm doing it less. And it's quality over quantity. I can't get my head around it because they're trying to stress the point that, oh, even though we don't have to report our time anymore, we should be doing more. And yet the only reason that you'd be experiencing more joy that I can think of is that you don't have that pressure to do more, so you do less, and therefore it's more enjoyable because it's kind of on your terms and not on Watchtower's terms. This whole series of interviews is so confusing. I don't get it. Maybe someone smarter than me can educate me down in the comments.
Before, I was so happy when I could leave something from my witnessing bag. But now, I'm really happy if I leave someone a piece of my heart.
It has helped me really focus on what's more important, and that is making disciples.
I love this new approach to the ministry because I'm not memorizing a specific conversation. Now I can talk to them more naturally and really enjoy what we discuss about the Bible.
Our activity isn't defined by what we might call quantities, but rather it's motivated by the love we have for people.
We've noticed that the brothers and sisters in the circuit are really excited about this adjusted approach to our ministry. Before it was more structured, a topic, then a scripture, now it's a conversation.
I'm just going to do a poll. I don't know how many people want to participate in this or how many people are still watching at this point, but comment down below how motivated you are to have a conversation with a random stranger that isn't making a point. Is someone knocks on your door, rings your doorbell, you put some pants on, you put down your coffee, you turn off your TV show, and you walk to the door, and they're just like, "Howdy, neighbor, how's it going?" And you're like, "What do you want?" Like, that is the response that I'm imagining I would have. I'd be like, "Why are you here? Like, get to the point. Like, what is this about? I don't know who you are. We're not just going to instantly become best friends because randomly on a Saturday afternoon you ring my doorbell." So is there anyone out there? Is there a single person that would enjoy someone coming to their door without a plan other than to have a conversation? Do you want to just have a random conversation with some stranger? Isn't that why the internet exists in the way that it does? If we want to have conversations with strangers, we can do it till our heart's content online. I don't get it. Like, if someone knocks on my door, you better get to the point within like the first 10 seconds, or I'm going to tell you to leave. I'll probably tell you to leave anyway, but I just don't get, oh man, we're going to have so much more fun with this new strategy.
I used to be worried about what I would say and how I would bring the conversation to the Bible. But now I realize that what matters more than what I say is that the person feels that I genuinely care about them.
So just like Jesus approached the woman at the well, I like to approach people about their dogs, and I like to talk to them, ask if I could pet the dog. It starts a nice, relaxed conversation. And that can lead into giving them a card or talking about the truth a bit. And oftentimes when I leave, I'll look back and they'll be scanning the card with their phone and they'll be looking at the website already.
They need to appoint her to the governing body ASAP. She has got it figured out. She understands normal human interactions. Hey, someone has dog. People with dogs like talking about dogs. Very simple. If you see someone walking a dog, they will want to tell you all about their dog, how old it is, their workout routine, when they sleep, what they do wrong. People, if you ask them about their dog, they will go off. She has figured it out. And then she just casually slips them a little Colt card, and they're like, well, she seemed really nice and friendly, and dog people generally like other dog people. Hey, I'll check this out. So shout outs to her. She needs to be on the next governing body whenever they move it forward and allow women to be on the governing body. But that's about all I can take of this particular thing. You guys already get the vibes. They want people to continue to do more in the ministry, even though they don't have to report their hours, and some funny beard stuff. So yeah, that's about all of the thoughts that I had on this. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're still around, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. With all of that being said, stay safe, be kind, and show yourself the same kindness that you show to other people. Oh, my neck hurts so bad. I could hardly sleep for the last week. But I'm still going to have a good ass day.